Hello everybody, and welcome to the first episode of Ratchet Clank. I'm not sure what I'm going to end up calling this. Maybe I'll call it Until I Die. Maybe I'll just call it Hardcore Mode. But basically what I'm doing is I'm going to try to get as far into the game as possible without dying. So, first things first, I'm the first place where I'm most likely to die is Wilgar. I feel either that or the BTS. Any place before then, I don't think dying would be that likely. Yeah, so that's the first place where I think it's possible that I'd end up dying. And yeah, I'd also like to end up at either reach at least as far as Auxton or Gaspar. So I'm just going to go through the basic rules of this. Basically, I go on playing the game until I die. So that basically counts each or any character that I'm currently controlling. So in this game, it counts if Ratchet dies, or if Ratchet is in a turret and that turret dies, that also counts. Okay, so that's the first thing. The second thing is that it doesn't matter whether you die from a glitch or via your own stupidity or whatever. Death is still a death. So I'm going to add 2 more rules. That will, I suppose, be in the spirit of the that will be in the spirit of this challenge. The first one is to not abuse glitches, to skip sections of the game. And the second is to not reload basically when you not reload in basically to avoid death. So for example, if you find yourself falling into the void, you can pause, reload your save, and then you won't have actually died. If you find yourself about to fall into mud, same thing. If there's 1,000 enemies shooting at you, and you're down to about 1 health, you could in theory do the same thing. So when it comes to save warping here, I'm basically going to use the eternity rule, which is where I can only reload the save to reset my position if I can be AFK at wherever I'm at indefinitely without dying. So, for example, if I'm over, let's say I'm up on here, Firstly, those frogs will probably never happen to wander over here. Secondly, even if they do, the enemies in this game have a certain boundary in which they stop being hostile. So even if they did somehow make it over here, they would probably cease to be hostile and run back to where they were. And thirdly, if they did run over here, I'm on a ledge, so they wouldn't actually be able to get up to me. So that's how that works. What else? Yeah, I mean, in theory, I could potentially just glitch through the floor in a billion years or so. But we're not counting that. Okay, so this is Veldin. I have 0 bolts. I have 10 ammo, which is exactly what you have when you start. So we gotta collect bolts. Not just for weapons, but also lower the sound a bit. Yeah, that's a bit better. You need bolts not just for weapons, but there's a few items that you need as well. For example, in the next planet, there's an info bolt that costs 500 bolts. In the planet after that, there's a upgrade that costs 1,000 bolts, and a gadget that costs 1,000 bolts. The two main weapons that we'll want for now will be the blaster and the pyrometer, and in total they will cost about 1,000 bolts. So since I'm near a ledge, I'm actually comet striking those boxes rather than hyper striking them, just in case the innate magnetism of the I also said that one different, but yeah. Basically, your wrench has some magnetism, so I think I can show this here. Yeah, see how he turns. I'll show it again. He's over here. There. Yeah. I was pointing that way, and then he turned that way. So that is something that can actually potentially launch you off an edge or kill you otherwise. Yeah. I'll also be skipping help desk dialogue and cutscenes. Yeah.
That's nanotech. Whenever you sustain injury, let Ratchet Clank's patented nanotech system rebuild your body fast.
hold that without. Okay. What's that guy?
Use your bongo. Press the circle button to equip it, and the circle button again to fire. You can also use it in first person by holding down the L1.
So you can just put your bomb glove over there to avoid getting close to those guys. So that's all the enemies that are over here. Another thing to note here is that the bolts are persistent, which basically means that they don't despawn. I'm not certain if that's the case in other games. For practical purposes, it's not the case in Deadlock, Radiator, but in this, they are definitely persistent. Okay.
Hello.
So that's the virus.
Hold it. So,
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so we'll first focus here. So we have the parameter.
hi there, Fudge Ball.
Don't think I'll be able to afford that on this one. Okay, so another thing to say here, there is a gold bolt up there. I'm gonna get some gold bolts. Basically the idea is if I last long enough, I want to be able to get gold weapons. So I'll be going for some gold bolts. Gold bolts like that are basically really easy to get, and you don't have to risk dying at all. So let's get it. Okay. Well, that's the first hit, but yeah, it's just, well, not about avoiding hits, it's about avoiding, dying. Plus there's nanotech here, so that makes that easy. And the first time around, the first time around, there's two enemies there, and no more. The second time around, there's a bee right there, or a what's in. believe you can actually make it over there. So you can, but although you can try again. Yeah, okay. So that's a jump you can barely make. But if you don't make it, then that's just water. It doesn't really hurt you at all. I think it's freely run across here. Because again, if I fall, it's just...
Look, plumber's crack. Maybe. This is a solar ship radical. Did you see that guy on the left?
Gadgetron Infobot, give you coordinates for new planet. Now that you have the Infobot for planet Iridia, you'll need to find a ship to get there. To enter...
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So that's that part. I'm gonna get bolt two. Okay, I'm gonna do this path next. There's no need to go down there.
Press the square button. The guy.
Okay. There's no need to go down there. So we roll. Yeah, there's only a few bolts down there. Maybe. Yeah. There's one. Okay. So going down here, firstly because there's bolts, and secondly because there is a gold bolt. And thirdly because I can fairly comfortably die here. I mean the only hazards are enemies and drowning. You can avoid the enemies if you know what you're doing, and the same goes with avoiding drowning. Okay. Go down here. Yeah, and see how we only lost about half of our here. That means that there wasn't that much danger. Now. Okay. Like that. And break these. And that there, you can actually activate it. I mean, you blow it up with your bomb glove, but you can actually use the decoy glove to get the gold bolt. in my Wrench Only Tools run of this game, I basically show that off. Okay. Erase that. Nothing there to go. And then go down again. Okay. And if you got hit somehow, there's a health right there so that you can leave full. And we are full.
I got some great bargains for you today.
I'm going to buy the processor and buy ammo for it. Okay. So yeah, since you can't hear me from also, that water stream there doesn't hurt you at all, so you can just fall into it without too much worry. There we go. He's dead now. Maybe I'll do that. Okay. Also, it's not actually a bad idea to use the bomb gloves on large amounts of boxes. I've heard that it causes them to drop more bolts. But the main benefit is that it's actually faster. Okay. I'm going to get these boxes. And then these. Yeah, on Metropolis there's going to be a new weapon. The blaster. And the blaster basically allows you to kill it basically allows you to kill enemies for the most part before they can actually aggro you on you. Okay, you can't skip that. Okay. And cutscene was cool.
Now that you
Okay, so we're near the end of the episode. Also, for small boxes like that, it's pretty acceptable. It's not acceptable because you can break the boxes whatever you want, but it's just as convenient to use the wrench as it is to use your weapons. And these. And the hope is that I'll be a good way towards the last stuff by the time that I reach the couple of... Yeah, I'm pretty close. So, this is the end of this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.